Alright all, and welcome back to another video of the Blair podcast. I'm very sorry that in the last couple of weeks I've been a bit behind the ball. I've been up to my eyeballs in a bit of college work to get done, but I've got around finally to editing this video and putting it out for you guys. I'm joined with Sam Rogers today. Sam gave some great insights into what it's like, I suppose, for an English punter in comparison to all the Irish propaganda you usually get on this channel. But I hope you guys do enjoy the video, and I'll be trying to get a couple more of these out now that I've got a bit more free time. This video was actually recorded a couple of weeks ago, and I've only just got around to it now, so I hope you guys do enjoy it, and if you do, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel down below, and as always, let me know your views and get in touch if you want to get on the Blair White podcast in episodes to come. Cheers. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Blair White podcast, and I'm delighted to be joined by Sam Rogers today. Sam, firstly, how are you during lockdown, and how is it without racing at this time?
Yeah, I'm fine, mate. Getting on well. It's strange. It's difficult. I'm just used to every day, just looking at the racing post, just seeing the cards and all that. So it's a bit weird, and I'm missing it. Probably like you are, but yeah. I'm all right. Got work, just sort of getting me by. Don't know if it's a good or a bad thing, but yeah, no, I'm missing it, and especially with as you probably tell from Liverpool, the National Nancy Festival. That's massive. Look forward to it every year. So to miss that, it's a bit gutting. So I'm just hoping for it to be back on, even behind closed doors, really, just as soon as possible.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Like at this stage, I'm just looking for something to, as you say, even just a single racing postcard to look through, in the morning and stuff like that. And what I can't understand is it's only been 5 weeks since Cheltenham. It feels like another year since we were there. The Cheltenham Festival this year, I suppose there was some great stories, some heartbreaks for you in particular. What did you take away from it? Maybe some good stories, some bad stories.
It was probably the worst festival. I mean, I'm only 26 and I've only been into sort of racing for about the past 7-8 years. But in terms from a punting perspective, it was probably my worst one. I had so many I think I was into double figures for second places. But I think with Cheltenham, it's a taking part, just out having a bet. It's a brilliant spectacle. I thought, day one, the mares was fantastic. I just hope I hope she stays over hurdles. I know she went chasing for a bit, but I hope she stays. And obviously Honeysuckle's coming up, so there could be quite a few clashes. Brilliant to see Envoy Allen deliver. There's a lot of hype, and it happens, doesn't it, where horses get built up, and then it comes to the day, and they just don't perform. But that was a brilliant performance. Shame about Tiger Roll. I think maybe the ground possibly caught her out, and obviously he didn't have the best of preparations. He had a little knock, didn't he, the back end of last year. Then Boom photo back to back. That was great. I backed Kenboy, which sort of summed up the week. Took a bit of a punt. But no, it was a fantastic week, as it always is. And there's some horses that I think, top of the game. I was really looking forward to that. And if you go back to the RSA chase, if you look at the form line from that now, I think top of the game for the Gold Cup is a real live contender next year. Obviously, if it's fitting well, top of the game is one I'll probably be backing for the Gold Cup, I think.
Yeah, exactly. That RSA form now is looking superb, really, with Delta Work kind of mopping up the grade ones over here, and then Santini run so well in the Gold Cup. You mentioned with Envoy Allen, obviously it's very difficult. These Irish horses, Gordon Elliott's had a couple in the last few years that have come over with those sort of expectations. From an English perspective, is it harder or easier to jump on that hype train with an Irish trained novice?
Well, that's what I was going to touch on. It's difficult because I think getting a grasp on the English form, from my point of view, is probably a bit easier. And it'll be vice versa with you. You probably look at someone like Shishkin and you maybe think, well, what's it actually done? But I think I think in Ireland you've got Gordon and Willie. I think they're the big boys. Obviously you've got like your Henry de Bronner. He's obviously a very good trainer. But when there's a Willie or Gordon trained one, you sort of you sit up and you think, right, what's this about? But I think with Envoy Allen there was never any doubt for me, especially that. I mean, the bumper win last year, that was fantastic. He was out wide. He looked as if things were coming for him, but no, not one was getting past him. And even his hurdle victories, it was effortless. So it can be sometimes, it can be a bit hard not knowing what it's beating behind. It's the same with the Stadium for Lunch, like Abracadabras for the Supreme. I'm looking at him thinking, what did he beat? I know it was a bit easier, the fact that Stadium for Lunch did actually beat Abracadabras. But it can be a bit difficult from time to time trying to get a grasp on the form. But any time it's a Willie or Gordon one, you've got to sit up and take notice.
Yeah, it's exactly the same for me. Like personally, it's very hard because like Nicky Henderson is really the main.
Sanchi House as well.
Yeah, exactly. The main producer of these novice hurdlers, and like this year you had Shishkin and you had Chantry House. That you genuinely didn't really have a clue which one was going to be better than the other. And like certainly from my perspective, like I've been lucky enough to see MVLN a couple of times as a bumper horse, a couple of times over hurdles this year. You do piece together the form, and like with a horse like him, it's very easy because the form is so rock solid. But like I was looking at Shishkin, say, and he ran around Huntingdon. The form wasn't brilliant,
isn't it?
Yeah, but then he goes on, and he could well be as good as Altior or Sprinter's Acra sort of thing.
Well, it's very promising. I couldn't have had Shishkin. I watched the first day with my godfather, and he was saying, I really like to look at this Shishkin. It went out to about sixes, didn't it?
Yeah.
Saying, no, you can't have that. It's beat nothing. Fell, then it's bolted up all right, but in a listed race of Huntington, it's beaten nothing. So it happens. It's hard sometimes to get a grasp on how good they actually are. But that I think you'll see a lot of horses. You'll be look back at this Supreme and you'll be thinking that was a very good renewal, because I think there'll be a lot, even your likes of, I think, Fiddler on the Roof, that didn't run great, but I really like the look of that. I think that's a very good horse. And Stadium for Lunge himself, he was a bit mad, wasn't he? He was jumping out, a bit headstrong. I think if he can settle a bit, I think again you could be looking at Stadium for Lunge, thinking what a horse this is. But very good renewal.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. And I think the Stadium for Lunge, he comes across to me as a horse that maybe fences will actually make a man of him, because he might treat them with a bit more respect. He certainly wasn't treating his hurdles with much respect.
Nobody with respect.
He was just jumping sideways into
having a good time.
As you say, the Supreme this year, to me, it felt a lot like the Supreme in 2016, where you had Altior, Min, Bouverdare, and even a horse like Fiddler on the Roof may have been like the Super Sunday of that 2016 renewal. Actually a Grade 1 horse, but just not maybe ready for that step at that time. But you said you've been involved in racing for maybe 7-8 years. I suppose going back through those years, what have been your best moments, some of your favourite horses?
Oh, there's been obviously there's been plenty of highs and lows. I got into it. My dad was always into it through his great nan. She used to always have a bet. She used to go to Ascot, so that sort of rubbed onto me dad, and then it sort of passed down to me. I love football, massive football fan. So I'd always, even as a kid, I'd pick out a few teams on the old accumulator, get my dad to go and put it on. So I never really, growing up, was a massive fan. I was just like a young lad, but it was sort of as I got into my late teens, early 20s, my dad gave me one or a few tips. Not very good, but I just sort of started watching it, and then I sort of started just punting. I wasn't sort of too interested in the sport as a whole, the horses. It was just from a punting perspective. But as I started betting and sort of, you learn more, don't you? You start thinking, what do we need to look out for here? That's when I sort of started to take a real interest in it. one of my first Cheltenhams I can remember. It was the Arkle Simmonsig year. And you had Sprinter Sacre as well. That absolutely bolted up in the champion chase. If I remember rightly, Bobsworth won the Gold Cup that year. So that was sort of my first proper festival, sort of getting a grip on it. So Sprinter Sacre, that's one of me. It's probably my favourite jump draws, to be honest. I was absolutely gutted when it went down and it come back a bit and it looked a bit lifeless, didn't it? And when it won, I was all in on Undersow. I thought there's no way Undersow gets beat today. And then I seen it coming and I was like, it was strange because I had a nice bet on Undersow. So obviously I was a bit gutted, but at the same time you can't be too disappointed because that's up there with one of the. I don't think just for me, but I think for most people who like National Hunt, Sprinter Sacre coming back to win that was absolutely special. Willie's had so many. He's got. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he trains them and gets them. Duvan, Min, Annie Power. That was sure it's not for me. That was a bad moment when it went down in the mares. I think I'd had the first 3 or 4 that day because he had the Supreme. Was it Duvan?
Yeah.
And then was Altior one? Did Altior win the Arkle?
No, Undersow won the Arkle.
So that's Undersow, and then Druid's nephew won the Ultimate, and then Faugheen won the champion. So I was like, you're on cloud 9, and you got Annie Power in the accumulator. She's coming to the last. You're counting it. It's amazing, and then down she goes. And I think that I had Real Madrid that night as well. Did back Real Madrid to win by 2 or more at home to Schalke to try and get some money back, and he got beat 4-3. So it was one of them days. It's not just the top horses though. I think that's the thing with racing. Like I don't know if you've Dr. Red Eye, Scott Dixon trained.
Yeah.
It was one of them. He used to go off from the front. About I think he used to run all about 7 furlong. If it lasts, it lasts. That won me a few quid from time to time. I landed probably be one of my biggest bets as well. I landed a fourfold off a fiver to return about 1,500. I'd actually been sent home from work with sunstroke. I was just sat there feeling sorry for myself, and it was one of them. I'll have a little go on the racing, and Dr. Red Eye was one of the 4. But again, that I think I backed at Chester a few times. It won once or twice. Roy Rocket, the Brighton specialist.
Yeah.
Again, that's again he's not a superstar, but I think that's what racing's about.
I'd have certain horses like that over here as well, especially when they give you that one good day, they land a good punt or they're part of an accumulator and stuff like that, and they're forever then lodged in your memory as this, brilliant horse. And at the end of the day, they're a pretty average horse, but I think the ability to get that enjoyment, whether it's at Cheltenham or whether it's at, a midweek meeting in Brighton in the summer, or whether it's at Thurles in the winter or whatever, that ability to, I suppose, for a punter to win and to feel that affection to even a fairly moderate horse is what makes kind of horse racing so special.
I've been to the Arc a few times, so that sort of sticks out quite recently because I was massive on Enable. I backed it in March after it was it was April. It was the day after Tiger Roll won the second. I backed that 4th for the Arc. And I sort of, as the months sort of went on, I was going in again, and the price just kept coming down. So to be on 3 was that I don't think it's ever been done. I don't think it's ever been done.
No.
3 blocks. So there was a lot of hype, and it was absolutely. It was strange because she came round the bend and she was going. Frankie kicked on, and everyone, the crowd sort of lifted because I think even the French there was. I think there's literally people from everywhere. I think the Japanese love the racing, don't they? And
Yeah.
a lot of them were there all in support. So when she kicks on, you're thinking, go on, she's going to do it. And then when Wallgeist comes past, it was literally, it felt like that the energy was just like sucked out of the crowd, and it was the very, very demoralising.
I think it's very easy in those situations as well, because in a way you kind of want that to happen, because you want to see whether it's Enable or whether it's Trev. I know that's been the case even this year with Faugheen at times. People want to see it happen, and you do get sucked into
Yeah.
it, because you're going, gee, what would it be like at Cheltenham if Faugheen was to win?
Sentimental bet.
Yeah, that's probably one of my weaknesses is those sentimental bets. But I think they're necessary in some ways, though, because if they do happen, you don't want it to happen and you not to have.
No, I'm in that mindset now with Tiger Hall. Yeah. I was, as I say, I backed him last year, and I was very sweet on him again. After last year, I thought, even if he gets put up a little bit, if he gets round, he loves Ainsley. I don't what's going to beat him. Maybe if he stays on his feet, gets the luck, what's going to beat him? So it's a similar situation now, because I'm thinking next year, has the boat sailed for 3? I know Elliot Gordon's talking about keeping him insane and to go again, but it's probably going to be one of them. Do I go with a sentimental bet, or would you be smart? I go with the magic of light or something, from instead of thinking with your heart, so I think with your head. But that's what racing's about, though.
But to finish up, if you were to give maybe a couple of horses, whether it was for the flat season or whether for Cheltenham next year or any of the big jumps racing next year, who would they be and why?
So I'm not a massive when it comes to sort of punting and racing. I like to look at things on the day. I'm not big on Ante-Post, because I think anything can change. I mean, going back to Enable, I think she got beat because the ground was too soft. Yeah. That's the vibe I get. You can't predict that. Do you know what I mean? I got 4-1. She went off at 8-11, but the ground beat. So I'm one of them. I don't really like to put money down until I know exactly. I'm there on the day. I know what the ground's like, the draw if it's necessary. That sort of thing. I've probably got 1 or 2 that I seen last year in relation to flat horses. There was one called Enemy for John Gosden. I think he won. He was one at Ascot towards the back end of last year. That's got. I think it's got the pedigree. I think it's out of Muhara, and I think it's Dan Silly.
Yes.
Dan Silly's that's some related to Frankel as well, hasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think Enemy could be one to watch out for. Obviously, it's only had the 1 run. It's Qatar racing as well. Obviously, Roaring Lion. So the connections are very strong. There's another one I'd keep an eye out for that could be sort of graded level. Is Calusi. It's a Roger Varian horse. It's in the colours of Al Maktoum. Absolutely bolted up at Wolverhampton again, going back to going towards the back end of last year. I think that could be really interesting. It's just a bit of a shame that we can't sort of, because it in the run up to Ascot and what have you, this would be sort of the prime time to see are they the real deal. So I'm not massive on. I don't like a lot of people use like a notebook, don't they? They'll have a notebook for the horses. I'm not a big one. In terms of the festival, obviously I spoke about top of the game. I think top of the game. I think that definitely. I think that's definitely going to be up there in the Gold Cup. Obviously, barring well it's fit.
Yeah, it was brilliant having you on, Sam, and some brilliant opinions and some great stories there. I hope you enjoyed being on.
Absolutely, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. And if you want to do it again anytime, just let me know.
Yeah, no worries at all. That was absolutely brilliant. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and if you did, Do give it a like and subscribe to the channel down below. And thanks again, Sam.
Thank you.
Today. Cheers, Sam.